Hi guys, Sophie here, welcome back, and today we're doing a drugstore beauty haul. So don't forget, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up like button, share it with all your friends and subscribe so you don't miss any videos coming soon. So like I say, today is a drugstore haul and I'm going to just take you through a few items that I've purchased recently, and they are on the kind of budget end of the beauty spectrum because I'm really intrigued at the moment to see how the quality of drugstore, particularly budget drugstore products, is improving, and with the formulas and the ingredients that they're using, and just going to see how that is comparing to sort of higher end brands and products that we would also all know and love. Okay, so first up I have from Collection a Precision Colour Lip Liner, and this is in number 12 Pink Heaven, and it looks a little bit like this. So I have used this already in a couple of videos, and I will put links down below to those videos so you can check those out and see the colour. On the whole, I would say I give this about a 6 out of 10. It's a really nice colour, it's a really great nude. I wanted a nude that's just a good match to my lips as opposed to anything too beigey, and it's definitely that. It's a really good base lip liner, and it doesn't feather and does last quite well. My only sort of major negative really is it's quite dry, and because of that it can be quite difficult to apply. I'm used to something that's perhaps more creamy, and for this I would definitely need some sort of lip balm before I use it. So about a 6 out of 10. It's for the price, I think it was about £2. It's obviously really great value and it will last, but you will need, like I say, some sort of lip balm to really work with that. Now, to go inside with that, I wanted some sort of lip butter, a budget range lip butter, so I got the Collection Work the Colour Matte Lip Butter, and that's in Marshmallow Pink, and it's this sort of wind up pencil here. Now, I'll just apply this so you can see the colour. I have used this in a couple of videos, so again I will tag those as well so you can see it when it's used with an overall look. So that's the lip butter once it's on. It goes on quite smooth, it's got that nice moisturising kind of butter property to it, and particularly for a matte product, which, you know, can feel quite drying on the lips and sort of leave you wanting to get the lip balm out, which kind of defeats the point because then you've got a sheen on your lips. So overall I'd say I'd probably give that one about an 8 out of 10 really, because for the price I think it's got good colour, and I just think it lasts quite well as well. So overall a really pretty good product I think from Collection. Next up we have also in the Collection their Speedy Highlighter, and this is just a big chubby highlighter, and this is in 01 Pearl Sheen. Now I'll just pop a bit of this on now so you can have a look and see real time how it goes on. So literally I would just sort of pop a bit of this here on my cheekbones, and then use really the warmth of my fingers. I think is probably best for something like this, just to blend and kind of work it out. Maybe apply a little bit just on the brow bone too and work that in. Maybe just a touch down my nose, just to give us a little bit of highlight there, and maybe just a touch here. So I think really I've used lots of different highlighters, you know, sort of powders and creams. I think one of my favourites is probably Benefit Moonbeam, and I really like the texture of that one. I think it really works into the skin nicely. This one, I think it gives a nice kind of highlight. It's quite a pretty sort of highlight shade. It's quite sort of natural, not glittery at all, which we don't obviously want from a highlighter. The texture's kind of unusual. It feels almost a little bit drying. I think if you had quite dry skin, it might sort of tend to cling to any dry patches. Mine up here is sort of medium, I guess. It's not sort of too dry, so it feels fairly smooth when it goes on. But I think perhaps it could be a little bit creamier maybe. I think that would perhaps give it a more natural look, perhaps, you know, go into the skin and have that skin texture a little bit more. This feels like it kind of sits on the skin a little bit. But again, for the price, really, I mean, these products are so cheap compared to the sort of everyday high-end products that we tend to purchase, that you do have to sort of weigh up the pros and cons, and if it does give an overall nice look, which I feel this one does, then I can't really rate it too bad. So I think for that one, considering the price, I'd probably give it about a 7 out of 10. It does give a really nice kind of gentle highlight. The colour's pretty. I think, as I say, the only downside, which always tends to be the case with budget products, is the kind of texture that it has. It never feels as luxurious on the skin as something that perhaps has more expensive moisturising ingredients in it. So moving on, next up I have the 17 Easy on the Eye palette. It's a new one from them, and this one's in Birthday Suit. So it's a collection of 8 matte, shimmer and pearl powders. It has 3 metallic creams and also a primer. Again, I've already used this item. I've used it on quite a few videos actually. There's a couple of colours in here which are just really pretty. So you can have a look at those videos. I'll pop some links below and check those out and see what you think. But these are the colours. So it has, basically what appealed to me with this palette is I thought all the colours were really workable. They're really sort of lovely, again, spring fresh colours, which is what I'm really looking for at this time of year. And I also quite like the idea that it comes with these 3 metallic creams and a primer. I mean, it's quite rare actually that you get any sort of form of primer. I mean, obviously that may run out, I guess, quicker than the actual colours themselves, but nice to have all the same. It comes with a nice mirror. It's kind of a standard compact. It does come with a fairly nice sort of brush as well for, you know, a budget palette rather than just a shadow sort of sponge applicator. And on the whole, I really like the palette. I think, again, for the price, I think I bought this when it was on offer and it was probably about £6.50. I do think, you know, it's a good value. The colours are really nice. They're all really wearable, so there aren't any in the palette that I would say that you wouldn't wear. The only downside really that I've found with this palette so far would be the sort of richness of the pigments. I think they're all really pretty colours, but I found, particularly when I was just sort of swatching it on my arm for the blog to take some pictures for you guys, that some of the colours in particular I really had to sort of really buff the colour onto my finger to try and get a sort of good dense colour swatch to show you. So I think, you know, they're nice colours and you can work with them and build them up, but I think obviously compared to, again, higher end brands, it's just that sort of denseness of the pigment that we're lacking there. And I think a good comparison really for this one in terms of price would be the Sleek Eye Divine palettes, because they're a similar sort of price range, and actually the palettes look really, really similar in terms of it being a sort of black palette with a big mirror. I don't think the Sleek ones come with a primer, but in terms of the actual sort of number of shadows, they're very similar. And as a comparison, I much prefer the Sleek palettes. I found the pigments of those tend to be a lot denser and a lot richer, and I think they're probably better quality, I would say, for the price. So it's a shame because I do really like this palette. I think the colours are lovely, and I think 17 have done a really nice job with, you know, getting some gorgeous, really wearable colours in there. As I say, I just felt it was a little bit of a shame that the pigments weren't that little bit denser, but as I say, you can, for the price, you can build them up and, you know, sort of layer up the colours and give some really pretty looks. As I say, I've used them in a couple of videos and I thought the actual final result looked really pretty. So check those out, perhaps see what you think, and that gives you a good idea. I will put on my blog some swatches and things so you can have a look at those as well. And last but not least, in my little haul of budget items here, I tried out the Collection Waterproof Fast Stroke Eyeliner. I just wanted to try, again, a sort of budget liquid eyeliner. Obviously doing sort of cat eyes is a really big look at the moment, and I just wanted to see, in terms of budget, if there's one out there that works well. In terms of a high street one, I would normally use the Maybelline gel eyeliner. I find that one is really fantastic quality for a high street or sort of drugstore gel liner, and compares with the sort of Bobbi Brown and the Clinique version. But I wanted to try more of a liquid with a sort of felt tip on the end, so this is the one I went for. So it comes in a teeny tiny little pot here with a little brush sort of wand. Now, I must admit, I didn't really like this product at all. I've tried it out and I've tried it a few times just to really give it a good go. But I don't know, perhaps it's because I bought the waterproof version. Now, I bought the waterproof version because my eyes tend to water and I wear waterproof mascara, so if I am wearing an eyeliner, I like to know that if my eyes water, I'm not going to end up with eyeliner all down my face, because that's just not a good look. So I bought the waterproof version thinking, you know, that would be great. But it's just a weird kind of consistency. I find when it goes on, you sort of start off and it's fine, but as you're working your sort of shape, you know, perfecting the edge, it's almost sort of the brush takes off the liner that you've already put on. It's like, it's weird to describe, but almost like a rubbery texture, like your glue from your eyelashes when you put those on and you sort of rub it and it kind of peels away. I almost feel a little bit like that's what this liner does. So it's a shame really, because I had sort of high hopes for it with it being a budget one, and I found perhaps if you're just doing a really simple thin line, that would probably work quite well. But I think generally nowadays we kind of want to spend a minute or so if we're doing eyeliner. It might be, whether it just be, you know, a thin line or a thick line or a cat eye or, you know, a big wing, whatever we're doing, we tend to spend a moment or two kind of working with the brush or the wand and kind of, you know, smoothing the edge and getting the wing and getting everything right. And I found that I was sort of laying down the initial base and getting my sort of wing out, and as I was coming back and sort of trying to fill in, I was almost taking off the product that I'd already put on, which was nonetheless, to say, quite frustrating. And yeah, I just wasn't really enjoying the using of that at all. And I also found it made my eyes sting a little bit, which is a bit weird because my eyes are maybe normally sensitive. I wouldn't say they're particularly sensitive to any product, but I did find randomly it made them sting, and I didn't actually get any in my eye. It was just when it was on the corner of my eye when I was doing my wing. So yeah, unfortunately I wouldn't purchase that one again. I'd have to say it's probably about a 2 out of 10. It's a shame, but I didn't like the smell, I didn't like the texture, I didn't like the sort of application, how it went on. I didn't really even like the brush very much. So yeah, unfortunately I wouldn't buy that one again. And that's it really, guys. That's the whole haul done. It's just a mini one. As I say, I'm kind of doing a bit of an experiment at the moment with budget and sort of real drugstore low-end kind of items, just to see if there's any kind of secret ones out there which are really good dupes for high-end products, or anything that, you know, perhaps we've missed that's just a real amazing product which is really purse friendly. So I will be updating some more of these. I've got some kind of really interesting looking lashes coming soon, which were really budget. I think they're £1 each. And I've also got an eye palette which I'm really excited by, which I found by a random company, which I'll put some details on soon, which was all of £2.50, and I will be giving you some updates on those soon. But I'll also put some details on the blog. Like I say, there'll be some swatches on there so you can see up close and in detail some of the products a little bit more with some pictures. And also let me know what you think, because I always find it's really interesting actually if, you know, like for example with the liner, you know, if I don't get on with it, but actually if there's some of you out there which go, you know what, actually you know, perhaps my skin or my eye shape or how I work with liner, this really works for me, and you know, is kind of like my go-to product. I just think that's fascinating how someone can hate a product, you know, in beauty, and actually for someone else it's like their style product. So let me know your thoughts and feedback, give me some comments on what you think, and it'd be really interesting to see. So hopefully I'll catch up with you soon. Don't forget, like I say, if you know, enjoyed this video and like the feedback that I've given on the products, hit that like button, share it with your friends who perhaps might be interested in seeing my review on the products, and subscribe so you don't miss any videos coming soon. Thanks guys, I shall see you soon. Take care. Mwah. Bye.